You know, there's one part of sales that we readily talk a lot about, but it's one of the parts of sales that is absolutely critical to a seller's success. I'm not talking about the closing. I'm not even talking about the building of the value or the demonstration or effective questions. I'm not even talking about prospecting. That one area that we often overlook, that's coming down to productivity. How productive are you being? And on this episode, I'm going to point out 3 things that typically hinder salespeople from being the most productive in their roles. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode, I'm coming to you from my dining room. And I'm doing this because I was traveling recently. I didn't get a chance to get this episode up. And my team is like, listen, bro, we need to get that episode done quickly. So I have a makeshift setup here in my kitchen in the dining room. And the content is still going to be great. You're just going to get it from a different location today. So a couple things I want to just kind of hit upon before we dive in. If you have never, ever listened to our podcast before or subscribe, please just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you would be so kind, leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Leave us a rating and review. It goes a long way. And I would personally like to connect with you. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you how you can go about doing that. Hit me up on LinkedIn, Donald C. Kelly. You can find me on Instagram as well, Donald C. Kelly. And also, we have two groups, one on Facebook, one on LinkedIn. They're called the Sales Evangelizers. These are communities where sellers like yourself can come together and hang out with me, and we can chat and ask questions and build our friendship and bond and all that good stuff. This is one of those areas that I stressed in the teaser that we have overlooked so much as sales professionals, and this is why I dedicated the next 4 or 5 episodes towards this topic, because it's that important to me, and I think it's that important to your success. Listen, too often we focus on the sexy stuff in sales, the prospecting or the making of the phone calls, the demonstration, the closing, even asking for referrals, which y'all don't do enough of. But we neglect so much this area of productivity. And I'm not talking about taking a time management program, which we do have a program on that and would love to have you take part in it. It's really geared around sales professionals. But what I'm talking about today is how can we make sure we focus on the things that matter the most and then to allocate the right amount of time towards that. Listen to the stat. This is from sales executives. So like the leaders in our organization, they said 79% of sales executives say that leading driver of hitting new sales target is improving the productivity of their sales rep. Think about that. Almost 80%, let's just round it up. It's just 1%. 80% of sales leaders said the leading driver of hitting new targets for their sales reps is just improving that sales rep productivity. That's telling a lot. So what is it that making us unproductive? Why are salespeople have such a hard time with productivity? I'm going to point out 3 reasons that I have observed from coaching and also being a sales rep and also leading a team and owning a company. So I come with some kind of credibility there, hopefully. The no formal education. Here's the stat. This is again from our friends over at HubSpot. A lot of our stats today come from HubSpot, so thank you guys over at HubSpot. 49% of organizations have zero. Let me repeat that. 49% of organizations have zero or limited means of measuring productivity. So when I go back to this concept of telling you that we don't have formal education, the way that most people judge if their sales reps are being effective, they may look at the calendar, and I'm giving a big may on that, may look at the calendar. The second thing that they will do is see if they're performing. So they might look at the activities that they have, and then also the number of deals that they're closing or whatnot. Now, those numbers are still arbitrary because we might say, Joe, on average, our organization sets 3 appointments per day or close 1 deal per week. Now, how do we know if that is the right benchmark? The person that set that, or the individuals that have set that benchmark, were they really productive? Could we really do only one sale per week as an organization? What if there's a possibility of doing 3 to 5 sales? What would it take to make that happen? It's an evaluation of that. So what we need to do is look at measuring. And one of the things that I like to do is with my team is we have meaningful activities. You're measuring all of the different numbers. And then also you're looking at the plans of those teams. If you were really like looking at your team's schedule and setting up times to chat with them and to, coach them and to see how they're doing on those activities that they have and measuring that stuff, that's going to make a much better way of determining if your team's productive rather than just saying, well, last month they closed one deal. Here's the other thing, multiple things that change gear at different speeds. 1/3 of the sales rep's day is talking to prospect. So it's also only 1/3 of their day is actually talking to prospect. So 2/3 of a sales rep day is doing things that are not talking to prospect. What are those things? And you can probably fill a dump truck full of ideas of what salespeople probably would be doing. Here's another stat: 21% of their day is writing emails. And if your sales reps are writing that many emails, my goodness, they should be I guess like some New York Times bestselling author. But if you, again, tracking the data, you can see this. And here's what we can do, though. Are there templates that we can implement, or are there times of the day where we can do be better at doing our emails? And are some of those emails necessary for us to do? The third area, the third reason why sales reps have such a hard time with productivity is because they're very reactive. I think sales is traditionally in that reactive mode. Client reach out, then I respond. I come to work, I make a call, somebody's interested, then I do this. As opposed to being proactive with our approaches and having a set plan and having a strategy and having those processes. Oftentimes we see sales as something that anyone can do, and we can just, if they can just have a gift of gab. And that's far from the truth. Like, it's more than just a gift of gab. It's about being a guide for your clients and helping them to come down the journey, come down a path. So the first piece that I want to just kind of go back to when it comes towards reactive selling is think of it like you are a rocket scientist. You just need to be as detailed as possible and don't wing it. These guys have redundancies planned in their plans like multiple times. They must, in order to be able to be the most effective in their capacity. 50% of a sales rep time is wasted on unproductive things. 50% of the time of a sales rep is wasted on unproductive things. Are you reacting or are you being proactive? Are you clients telling you, send me some information? Are you jumping in and doing that right now? Or are you focusing on the right activities and getting somebody else to send that to them? So think about it. Look at your day, evaluate it, and just ask, if you were to look at the end of the day and just look at all of your different activities, would you be able to say that those were proactive activities, things that you planned, things that you have set, or were they reactive? Again, clients going to have issues. Yes. Sometimes you do need to respond to fires. I get that. But you don't always have to. Your time is important too, and it's valued. And the moment you can recognize, the moment you can come to grips and recognize that your time is valued and is of utmost importance as well, that's the moment you become free. You become liberated. So the three things, again, I want to just put them back from the top. No formal education and productivity. That's one of the reasons why. Number two, multiple activities that have different gears or different speed. You're going from one high level activity to a low level activity. Do the high level activities together. Bunch the low level activities together. And then the final thing, reactive. They're being very reactive towards things that are coming to them rather than taking control and following their schedule and owning it and saying, it's not just a gift of gab. I am a business owner and I control my territory and my pipeline. And this is what we're going to do. That's all I have for you today. I want to hear, what else do you feel makes sales reps less productive? Go go ahead and comment in the Sales Evangelizers, our Facebook group. Just go ahead and do a post, or go ahead on LinkedIn. You can connect with me, Donald T. Kelly, and also check out our LinkedIn group, the Sales Evangelizers. As always, I share stuff like this because I want you to succeed. I want you to find more of your ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. I want you to be able to close more deals. But most importantly, I want you to go out each and every single day and do big things. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up at the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.